Guys, well, brief opportunity here with Coach. Obviously spent some time with him yesterday just to talk first day of practice today, Coach.
Well, not as much change since yesterday. Y'all go ahead.
Anybody not practicing? Anybody not practicing?
No.
Everybody's
Everybody's out.
I think you had 3 of the younger guys, true freshmen with the vets. What kind of went into that?
2 of them had classes in the afternoon. We weren't going to be able to go, and there are 3 or 4 of them tonight. Practice. Younger guys that practice tonight will go with us in the morning because they've got exams tomorrow night. So not a whole lot being right into it.
Will, with the hurry of all, do you have to do something different in conditioning during the off season to get them ready for that?
You want
Change some things in conditioning?
Not really. I mean, as far as our conditioning is concerned, I think we're in pretty good condition. There was obviously a drastic difference between the young group and the old group out there today as far as the tempo of practice, number of bodies. It was tough on the older group too because we really only have 2 units going at one time. But no, I feel like we're in pretty good condition.
Coach, Andre DeBose talked about a new perspective after the injury. Have you seen a change in his personality at all, the way he's handling himself?
Well, I think he handled the rehab very well. You know, at first he was very frustrated, but I think as his time moved forward, he was very focused on getting back and having a great 6 year. And so as far as his level of focus to be where he is right now, because really, you know, it takes a full year, in my opinion, on an ACL for a skill athlete to come back totally. You know, from a confidence standpoint, from a soreness standpoint, to be able to battle through those. I thought he looked really good this morning. Looked fast on the field, and I've nothing but been pleased with his rehab coming back from where he was.
And when you guys go to full pads, will he be held out at all, or is he going to be full ground?
No, I think as far as, I think we need to monitor his reps, but he will not be held out in any of the contact situations, no.
When is that?
But we will monitor his reps as far as those things are concerned.
When are you guys getting pads?
We'll go Wednesday a full unit, Wednesday night full unit, and shells. We have to go shells for 2 days, and then full pads the 5th day.
Well, when you're dealing with kickers, a lot of it is mental. Kyle was talking yesterday about the things going on in your head when you're not doing well as a kicker. What they did, were able to come back and both of them, Kyle and Austin, able to come back and do the spring. How much do you feel like that carries over now as they're starting?
Well, I think you build confidence through having very positive reps, and I think they had a lot of positive reps through spring. Based on what they've told me, they felt they had a very good summer. In the short time of watching them today, I thought we punted the ball extremely well. Both Johnny and Kyle did. I thought Austin kicked it extremely well. We had one field goal situation where I think he hit it from 41, and so that was pleasing to see. So I think that over a period of time you continue to build your confidence back. And I think both of those guys have done that, and it started in the spring.
Given what you were able to accomplish in the spring with the offense and how far along you felt like it was, what's the install kind of progression here, and how quickly are you guys going to be able to get that behind you and start moving forward from there?
Well, I think that right now, spring for Kurt and our offensive staff was a little bit of a get-to-know-you period from the standpoint of what do they feel comfortable that our players can do. I had a pretty good comfort level with what some guys could do, but now they've been able to be with those guys and be 15 practices and feel comfortable about what we call in certain situations based on the player. Now, as we're working into spring, we've refined some packages for certain guys to make sure we're able to take advantage of those guys. We'll take the first 5 or 6 days to really ingrain our installation. But each day we start introducing third down on day 3. We start introducing 1 minute on day 6. We do some red zone on day 4 and 5. We do high red zone on 4, low red zone on 5. We work into some goal line short yardage day 6. So part of your package offensively and defensively is being installed every day up to about practice number 8. And then you try to repeat a lot of that as you work through camp, and also going through special situations 1 minute before half, all of the different things that pop up in a game.
How different is this heading into today than it was a year ago? I mean, Jeff, appendectomy, Matt Jones, viral infection, all this stuff.
Jalapeno. 3 of our best players offensively, I knew 2 of them were out for the entire training camp, and Jeff was out probably 10 or 12 days. So drastically different, but I think we've improved ourselves. at the receiver position, the running back position, and when they're all healthy, that's a good group sitting out there.
But just in terms of ease on your mind.
Oh, there's no question. It was a rough fall.
Where's your excitement level when practice starts? You wake up this morning, extra spring in your step, something like that?
Well, I think, I didn't sleep a whole lot last night, excited about getting back on the field and coaching, and that's what you get, that's what you get hired to do, and that's, what I enjoy doing. All of the other stuff, not so much, but the coaching part of it, I really enjoy. I really enjoy being with you guys.
Yeah, you guys spend your birthday with us.
I know, that was awesome.
Yeah, I know a 15-hour day you're in here now too. What time did you get up today?
I got up about 3:35.
How's that?
What time did you go to bed?
About midnight, so don't require a lot.
3.5 full hours now.
A lot of coffee?
A couple cups today. It's been good.
One more question, James?
I mean, what is that like? I mean, just mentally getting ready for just kind of that grind. I mean, I know you love it, but it's got to be challenging.
No, I mean it's what you enjoy doing. I mean, but when we finish spring ball, I can't go on the road recruiting in spring. I mean, I've scheduled our first 15 practices and feel very comfortable about. And I change them several times as we move forward, and we will tweak them through camp. But you practice, you prepare for all that. You prepare for the schedule of camp and people to bring in to talk to your football team and all of those things. I mean, that's something that it takes a lot of time and effort through that time. Through we're here in May and June, and I'm doing all of those sort of things, getting ready for that, and refining it through July. Meeting with our staff for 2 weeks before we start camp, going through every minute detail you can imagine to make sure we've covered those things as we get into camp. So we've introduced our football team to the different situations that happen or could occur in a game, or all of those things. So that's where you spend a lot of your time thinking about those things at night when you can't sleep, and you're making sure that you've covered enough things for your team to be exposed to.
Where'd you get those organizational skills? Just curious.
Really exposed a lot of with Nick, Saban, and I think that the duration of an NFL camp. When I was at the Dolphins, we played in the kickoff game, which was last night, a Hall of Fame game. So we played 5 preseason games. So it was, it played 5 games, and then you're hitting the season. So it was a little different from a college atmosphere of going through that grind. But being able to be prepared, you have to get everything done before camp. You can't work in camp to prepare for an installation or those sort of things. So you've got to do a lot of work to prepare for that. Because you're going to commingle 5 preseason games, also with 2-a-days practice, inter-squad scrimmages, and all of those things. So you got to be pretty detailed in what you do.
Well, it was first day and no pads or anything. Do you have any initial kind of impression of how the quarterbacks looked, timing-wise, and everything?
Well, I thought Jeff looked really good, but just work in progress past that. And I thought the receivers competed, did a good job. I thought we showed some athleticism on the back end secondary. I thought we moved well at linebacker, doing some things, and it's really tough to gauge anything on it as far as the line of scrimmage.
How did the secondary look, just some of the young quarterbacks?
Athletic, those guys are, good carryover. Tonight, this morning, Jalen Tabor did some nice things. Duke did some nice things. Duke's a guy we played at the nickel a little in the spring, can play some different positions. He gives you a different skill set as far as a bigger guy that's a good blitzer. He's got good run instincts. Could possibly get some looks at safety. Smart guy. J.C. Jackson, Quincy Wilson had an interception tonight. So DeAndre Porter continues. He played mostly offense in college, in high school. So it's a transition for him, but he is a very good athlete. So I'm very pleased with what we see so far. So some very positive things.
Where do you guys have Quincy right now?
Corner. Yeah.
A little out of left field here, but Penn State assistant created a little buzz last week when he said he tweeted that he'd stopped recruiting a kid because of his social media presence. Mark Richt kind of indicated the same thing this week. Where do you stand on?
I hope somebody doesn't come here because of my tweeting.
That's not what I was getting at. But, like, do you?
You were bringing it up though.
No, I brought it up yesterday. I'm moving on. Still a Twitter question, but do social media as far as the kids?
No, that's part of the evaluation, and you got to. It's it's unfortunate because it's so different from when we were growing up. But when they press send, it's out there.
Right.
And so, there's been some situations that we've, communicated with a prospective student athlete and said, what exactly are we going, what road are we headed down here? And we may have talked to the high school coach and the principal and, people within the school to find out a little bit more about exactly what messages are trying to be sent here, but there's no question